coming up. This is such a treat. You came the right night. This is the only night you're going to be able to see this. As I said, Penn and Teller fool us. We get the winners come out here. And the important thing, of course, the trick, that's the whole idea of it, is to fool us. And there have been some wonderful acts who didn't fool us. They were great acts. There have been some acts we've liked, kind of, sort of, that fooled us, but they weren't a great act. Kevin came out and did an idea, a really nice idea, based on his personality, based on his background, and also a beautiful idea. We had no idea how it was done. We tried to take a few stabs in the dark and failed at it. He fooled us bad and righteously, and now he is here to entertain, amaze, and I think fool you. Please, this is Kevin Lee!
Thank you so much for having me back, Penn and Teller. Hello, Vegas! Well, my name is Kevin Lee, and what's interesting to me is that standing here in front of all of you, that's what seemed unreachable to me just a couple years ago. You see, my parents wanted me to become a magician, but I wanted to become a doctor. Sorry, other way around. Get it mixed up sometimes. But the truth is, I graduated from business school just 3 months ago, and now I get to do magic full time. So thank you all for being a part of this very moment. Thank you. One of the biggest things that I'm grateful for is learning Chinese. Now, my parents taught me Chinese and sent me to Chinese school on the weekends. What could be more fun than that? Learning your native tongue at 7 a.m. in the morning. Love it. Learning Chinese is difficult though, especially Mandarin. To speak fluently, you need to know about 3,000 characters in the Chinese alphabet. That gentleman right there is like, what? But I think that there's another faster way to speed learn Chinese. And I thought I'd test that out on someone here tonight. So if we could please get some house lights. Perfect. Hello, beautiful people. Come down here. Let's see. Yes, hi. I'm going to hand you this. What is your name? Katie, nice to meet you. Now, Katie, have we met before this performance?
No.
Have we ever met in general?
No.
No, perfect. Well, Katie, I'm curious, have you learned Chinese before?
Yes.
So you understand it, right? Katie, today is your lucky day. You are going to join my Chinese lesson. So, Katie, please come join me on stage. Let's give Katie some love. I'm going to have you stand right over here with this accent. Perfect. Katie, pleasure to meet you again. All right. It's only going to take a couple steps for you to learn. Sound good?
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. So step number 1 is simply do your best and repeat after me.
Okay.
我会.
我会.
That's pretty good. All right, Katie. You basically just said, I can do this in Chinese. And that's the first step of doing anything, believing that you can. All right, Katie, moving on to step number 2 is I am going to transfer the contents of this English-Chinese dictionary into your brain. So, Katie, you can just face forward towards the audience, relax your hands to your side, and relax your mind. Done. If that works, you have now magically learned Chinese. So Katie, she's like, it feels kind of strange, right? A little bit. To test you, Katie, I'm going to use some flashcards, like the one I used as a kid to practice my Chinese. So on one side of the flashcard, we have the Chinese characters. This is pronounced xie xie. Have you heard of that?
No.
No? It's a pretty common phrase in Chinese. Yeah, xie xie. On the other side is the English translation. Thank you. Xie xie, Katie. Let's test out another one. This one's a bit more complicated. It's pronounced 波霸奶茶. So Katie, I'd like you, as well as everyone else, to repeat after me. So again, it is 波霸奶茶. So everybody, 波霸奶茶. Very good, class. Yeah, Katie, to some Asian people, it would translate this to like water. But the actual translation It's bubble milk tea. Yeah. Have you had this before, Katie?
No.
You should. It's really addicting stuff. So, after the magic show, before you hit the clubs, grab yourself a bubble milk tea and you'll thank me later, right, Katie? Well, now that we have magically transferred the contents of that dictionary into your head, I want to make everything more simple. I want you to take that Chinese character and make an image in your head. It might be easier to understand. So Katie, to some people, this kind of looks like a bird with wings. Kind of, right? That's what you're going to say, so Katie knew it. And Katie, what do birds do?
Fly.
Spot on. They fly. So you can see how that kind of translates over, Katie. You're getting a good hang of it. You ready to give this a shot?
Sure.
Perfect. Yeah, walk one step closer. All right, Katie. We'll give the first one a try. And just be honest. Do you know what this says? Yes or no?
No.
You're exactly right. That is no for Chinese, Katie. So, Katie, you are the eyes for the entire audience. Can you please confirm for everyone you can't see through this card, right?
Yeah, I really can't.
You can't. And I'm not holding it at a weird angle where you can see like the reflection of the front. No, you're just staring at that Chinese character. Well, you are 1 for 1, Katie. Let's keep going. How about this one, Katie? If you can change your perspective, what would that look like?
The forest.
That is forest in Chinese. It worked. Awesome. Well, but maybe that was too easy. You see, some Chinese characters originated as things they represented. And the Chinese characters for forest actually do look like trees. Let's make this harder for you, Katie. This one doesn't just look like what it is. I don't think you're going to get it, but Katie, just do your best.
A fish.
Are you hungry, Katie? No, that is absolutely correct. That is fish in Chinese. You're doing an amazing job so far. And I think it's time you turn this up a notch with a phrase, okay?
Okay.
Now, I don't want to give anything away, Katie, but this might just mean something to you.
Love ya.
She got it again. That is love you in Chinese. And I guess I love you too, Katie. I don't know what just meant. We'll try one last one. If you can get this last one, I think we can all agree that the magic and speed learning have worked, okay? So for the last time, Katie, what is this? I don't know what's so funny, sir. I am flattered, Katie, but you are again correct. Let's give it up for Katie. One last time, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible. Well, Katie, as a gift from me to you, I'd like to give you these flashcards so you can continue to practice your Chinese. I will take this back. You can take your seat. Thank you so much, Katie. Another round of applause for Katie. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you envision, you can make real. You just need to have some patience and passion, and it'll all happen sooner than you think. My name is Kevin Lee. Thank you.
Nicely done, Kevin. We have this trophy for you from Fool Us. And let me translate that for you. You fooled us, so F you, Kevin. That's Kevin Lee! Kevin Lee! My name is Penn, partner, Kevin. We're Kevin Teller. Thanks a lot. Good night.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Yeah, that just happened. I just closed the Penn and Teller show. What? Absolutely crazy. That was by far the largest audience I've ever performed for. It was a room full of 1,500 people, and it's really cool because my parents, my family, and some of my closest friends all came out, and it honestly felt like I was just performing for them, but the audience was really interactive. They were really vibing with everything, and I'm just really happy how everything went. So now for the Q&A portion. And if you didn't know I was doing this, make sure you follow me on my Instagram @KevinLeeMagic, and you can check out all the updates there because that's where I ask all of you most of my questions. So we have a lot of questions. Let's get straight into it. Mickey asks, how did you do that language trick so fully? Y'all want to know the secret? All right, I'll reveal it. Okay. Come in close, come in close. Nikki is a good friend of mine all the way in Hong Kong, and I also want to shout out Tristan while we're at it because my routine could have been the same without the both of them. They helped me hash out the details, they made everything flow a bit more, and the goal with this trick when I created it was making it feel like not a magic trick, if that makes sense. With a lot of tricks you're like, I know what's about to happen, and I know there's an explanation, but with this, I want people to forget about why and just be so enthralled with, whoa, this is happening. I think learning a language is something pretty much everyone in the world wants to do because it allows us to communicate and increase the opportunities. So if you can give someone the ability to learn a new language instantly, it doesn't even feel like a magic trick anymore, in my opinion. And that's exactly what happened, and Allison was a great sport about everything. And I read through all the comments, I noticed a lot of people saying that Allison's in on it or you set something up beforehand. For those who didn't know, let me clarify this. There's absolutely no pre-show or stooging allowed. Basically, you can't meet with Allison or Penn and Teller until you step on out. Like, they don't even know that you're a contestant on the show until you step on out, until they announce your name to that very moment. So basically, that was my first interaction with all of them, and that just disproves the method of me setting up anything in advance. Zach asks, did you expect to fool them? Short answer, no, I did not. Long answer, I thought that my trick would at least make them think, go off each other back and forth, so both of them had different methods and different ideas. And that's exactly how it went. So I was really happy because when I was standing next to Allison waiting, they took a good 5+ minutes. Both of them, they had really interesting guesses. Like Penn was like, it was palm, you were holding it, and Teller was like optical illusion. And again, I read all your comments and I was just like, whoa, is this really happening in the moment that I didn't even mention that Teller was also wrong. So now all of you know, both of the guesses were wrong, not even close. And I also like to mention, very important detail, that basically they cut off the part where I gave the exact flashcards I used to Allison directly. No switches, no exchanges, like literally Allison, you can keep the cards so you can continue to practice your Chinese. If you look closely at the video, you'll notice that the cards where I placed it on the table after reading it, they're not there anymore because they're in Allison's pocket. So they're there, and you can even see like Penn at one point in the end where I'm like talking to Teller. He's like pointing to Allison, no palming? Are you serious? So both of the guesses were wrong, and yeah, I'm just really shocked still that this trick that, I put so much time and passion into really did fool them. Like if it didn't, I would have been just as okay with it, just sharing it with the world again, but that was like the icing on the cake. Aaron asks, did you get their signature? So, boom, yes I did. This is my deck of cards called Daydreamers that I printed earlier this year, and I gave both Penn and Teller their own decks, and I had Teller sign this. You can see a nice close-up. Ooh, the lighting's a little off. I'll just read it. It says, to Kevin, from your fan, Teller. So, thought that was really cool, and yeah, I'm keeping this forever. I didn't get Penn's signature, unfortunately, but I did get their photo, which I will post. Boom, right there. Did you have a good time? I absolutely had the best time of my life. I mean, this is definitely one of the highlights of my career thus far. And to celebrate it with the loved ones around me, like I was so happy to see my parents and my grandma get showcased on the actual cut. You can see my dad like hold up his phone, like standing up and taking photos. They're like, no photos, but Asian parents. So that was really fun. And I mean, again, I still pinch myself to this very day because of how surreal this is, but it actually happened. I also want to shout out my team who produced basically the intro package you see before the performance. Shout out to Larry, shout out to Veronica, Tom, Jay, all of you. You made this just incredible experience. And also shout out to you, Darren, you know who you are, because everything I basically needed, you were all super accommodating for, and everything just went better than I thought. John Stessel, the homie, yo, what's up? He asks, how does one even begin to come up with a fullest routine? P.S. I love you. P.S. I love you. But I would say the biggest advice I would give is don't expect to fool them. You know, that's always the icing on the cake. But the thing is, even though the show is called Fool Us, it's not about fooling them. It's just a show to showcase magicians from around the world, and if you fool them, it's great. If you don't, it's still great because you got to do some original magic and display your style to the world. So again, my advice is don't worry about fooling them. Just come up with something that's entertaining. Like, there's so many tricks that have fooled them, and not to bash on any magician, is like it kind of lost the presentation. Because for me, I'm really big on storytelling, and when it doesn't have that context, it doesn't have the emotion in the routine, then I feel like the magic just kind of falls apart. So make it something you actually like, something that many people will understand. It's not too convoluted, like, oh, shuffle this way, we're gonna do some calculations. Like, nothing wrong with that, but if you make it you, then basically that's how you come up with the Fool Us routine. YVR asks, how many days are you in Vegas to film your segment? So I actually have my badge over here. Kaboom, I like to keep these things. And we were filming from February 23rd to March 7th. Not me, but like the whole show was filmed in a matter of like a couple weeks. So it was really crazy how they stacked everything. I was there for, I think, a total of 3 days, and it went by really fast. Like, one day was just to get settled down, the other day was to do the dress rehearsals, the intro package, and the final performance. So it was all just packed down, everything worked out, and the schedule just went by really flawlessly. Alama says, why does the Fool Us trophy say F you? The trophy says F you because fool us. And as you can see at the end of my performance for closing their show, Penn was like, we have one last thing to say, which is basically F you. So, you know, it's just something funny, and it's part of their personality. Also, I thought this was really cool. My producer Larry, he wrote, to Kevin, a fooler and a friend. He sent me this, and it was just super sweet. This is actually, if you look closely, for the last part of my intro package, right before it says, boom, Kevin Lee, you'll see a Chinese lantern hanging there, and you'll see this, a part of it. So I wanted to keep it. I was like, Larry, can I keep this when we're shooting? And he's like, unfortunately, we're gonna need this for another shoot potentially. So I couldn't, but he actually found a way to keep a piece of it, and this is a piece of memory that I'm gonna keep forever. Like, thanks again for sending me this, Larry. I thought it was really cool. To answer your question, rather than having the trophy collect dust in the corner of my room, I made it into a necklace. I mean, it's just a little constant, humble reminder that I fooled the masters, and I mean, surprisingly, it goes with all my outfits. So whenever I'm in public, out and about, people are just like always giving me double takes. He's a magician that fooled Penn and Teller. And I'm like, stop it, I'm flattered. Stop embarrassing me. Okay, but on a real note, this is actually a really, really well-made trophy. I just almost broke this. It's very fragile, but it says my name right over here, Vegas 2019. Hey, I fooled Penn and Teller with a big F U. Whoosh. Those are pretty much all the questions y'all had to ask me. If you made it to the end of the video, you're a real one. I appreciate you. Make sure you like this video, comment down what you thought about it if I answered all your questions. Maybe if you have more questions, I'll answer them down below. But turn on the bell notifications so you can get notifications for all the amazing magic I'm gonna be putting out for 2020. 2020 is gonna be crazy, guys. A lot more longer form content, challenges, Q&As, giveaways, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. And always remember to share meaning with the world in what you do. All right, everyone. Peace out.